Hey guys, Ranger here, and welcome back to another video, and welcome back to another episode of Initial D, First Stage. And so here we are with Initial D, First Stage, Episode 23, The Rainy Downhill Battle. Last time we left off, Takumi had been challenged to a rainy downhill battle to the death. So let's see how that turns out, because I'm very curious. Starting the video. Now, the conclusion of the rainy downhill battle, even though I'm assuming Takumi will win. If he doesn't, then he'll be challenged. He'll challenge himself to do better. So let's find out what happens. I'm thinking Takumi's going to win. Start the video in 3, 2, 1, click. I'm honestly thinking Takumi's going to win. I hope he's going to win. Excuse me. I really hope that Takumi will win, because if he doesn't, I think it will really bother him, and he'll feel like a complete and utter failure, and it will affect him. But if he manages to win, Takumi has... Sorry. One thing that I've learned is Takumi has an interesting way of being able to quickly adapt mentally to a situation whenever it comes to drifting and racing. He has a unique way of being able to adapt it. He can learn on the go, on the fly, and kind of adapt that. So I'm wondering if he'll be able to take the knowledge that he has thus far and win, or if it'll be a tie. There hasn't been a tie really yet, so I'm very curious.
Takumi, お前さ、あんまり緊張感ないけど、本当に大丈夫なのか？雨のバトルなんて。
どうかな。雨じゃ飛ばせないから、俺は普通に走るよ。速いとか遅いとかは俺にもよくわかんねえんだ。マジで無理しねえよ。車ぶつけたら親父にグーで殴られっからさ。
Like I said before, yeah, that's the concern. Dying is not the big concern. The big concern is having to face your parents. That's the concern.
Go! スタートダッシュはやっぱり S14 か。ノンターボとはいえ2リッターもありやがるからな。
単純に排気量の差だけじゃない。滑る路面でうまくクラッチをつないだ。自分で雨が得意だって言うだけあるぜ。
いや、86のスタートにはまだ余裕がある。走り出してしまえばいつでも追いつけるっていう感じだ。あっさり前に行かれた。まずいよ。このままじゃパワーの差が出てどんどん置いていかれるぜ。
差がついたな。やっぱり86に上りはきついか。だけどここから麓まで永遠と下りコーナーの連続だからな。下りになれば無敵のダウンヒラーって言われたあいつのスーパーテクニックが出る。このままやられっぱなしってことはねえだろう。
I think right now he's kind of just observing the S14's way of handling.
もしもし。兄貴。
86と健太がレインバトルか。
そうなんだ。健太のやつ86相手に自信満々なんだけど、雨は甘くないぜ兄貴。
そうだな。低いスピードでタイヤを滑らせて楽しむ分にはどうってことないが、 バトルとなれば話は別だ。
ああ、目いっぱいアクセルを踏んでいくとなるととんでもなく難しくなるぜ。
ドライならタイヤのグリップでごまかせてしまうことも、雨となるとシビアに挙動に現れる。
きっちり荷重移動しないと車は全く言うこと聞かないからな。ちょっとミスればいきなりドッカンだぜ。
雨の本当の難しさと怖さをあの二人がどこまで分かっているかだな。興味ある。
二人か。嘘つきやがれ。兄貴が本当に興味あるのはあいつの方だろ。
Like, he doesn't give a crap about the other. He's curious about how his six will handle. Dude, don't you have a seatbelt? Dude, you might want to be quiet. You're going to break his concentration.
ちくしょう、また激しくなってきたぜ。相手は赤城の走り屋だ。どっちの地元でもないってことでは条件は互角だけど、問題はこの雨だ。
あいつ雨でも走れんのかな。
走れるんじゃないか。だってあいつ毎日やってんだろ、豆腐の配達。雨の日だって数えきれないほど。そうだよ、絶対そうだ。だとしたら匠のドライビングテクニックは雨でも通用するってことになる。
絶対追いつかせるもんか。このマージンをどんどん広げてやる。雨さえ降れば俺のキューズはターボ車だってちぎれるんだ。
Oh boy. I can actually see the odometer on the car.
ケツ振ってる。
Oh dear. He's getting a little too cocky here.
あの S14 雨の中でいい走りしてるぜ。
FR って雨だと本当に難しいからな。
ああ、踏んでも横向くだけで前に進まねえもんな。
来た、86だ。信じられねえ。雨の中であんなドリフトが。
Many a pair of pants were cream that day.
何だったんだ。ゾッとしたぜ、あのツッコミ。俺鳥肌立った。
You sure that isn't just isn't the rain? He's in the zone right now.
ついさっきまで女ボケしてたやつの走りか。
Ah, now you see.
無理しねえとかなんとか抜かしやがったくせに、こんな走りが高見とっちゃ普通なのかよ。しかも雨と夜で何も見えねえ。どうやって走ってんだよ。真っ暗で道路なんかどこにあるのかマジにわかんねえじゃねえか。結構言わすな。正気の沙汰じゃねえよこの。
I'm guessing that's the speed limiter alarm, isn't it?
こいつ人間じゃねえよ。
I imagine if he even said anything to Takumi right now, Takumi's head would turn a full 180 degrees and look back at him and say, "Shut up," before turning to normal.
乗れてる。今日の俺は絶好調だぜ。アキラの86の無敗神話も今日で終わりだ。ケイスケさんでもない、涼介さんでもない、この俺が86を倒す。何
Oh yeah. Night of Fire. I know this track.
いつの間に嘘だろ
Night of Fire.
何が起こった
I love this one.
まだ本格的な下りに突入して数えられるほどしかコーナーを抜けてないんだそんなバカなこの俺がこんなにあっけなく
His world is shattered.
追い詰められるなんていやまだ負けたわけじゃない
It's kind of ironic the title track for this here is Night of Fire, and it's raining in the episode. That's funny. Oh my gosh! Except for look, there was 100 and over 100. It looked for a moment like there was over 190 to 192,000 miles in that car. But I could be wrong.
見ろ86が抜けていくぞ Initial D Initial D お86が抜けにかかった
And Takumi is just like chill. I like this beat. Correction, I love this beat.
あっけなく抜いちまった嘘だろずぶ濡れになって待ってた価値あったああ
There were many boners that day.
コーナー一つ抜けるたびに確実に差が開く
Dang.
同じスピードで飛び込めない俺とあいつの何がそんなに違うって言うんだ雨は俺の味方じゃなかったのか
Sorry, I just imagined him getting out of the car and looking up at the clouds. Rain, why have you betrayed me?
そうか分かった。中間地点からの連絡だ。86が S14 を抜き去ったそうだ。
そうか。やはりケンタでは相手にならなかったか。
ま、検討した方じゃないか。86は雨でも早いことが分かったな。
やるまでもなく分かっていたことだ。86を倒すのに天気は関係ね
え。いよいよ高橋涼介の出番か。
Ooh, this is going to be interesting. They've been building up to this, like, the whole thing, pretty much. They've been building up to it.
いらっしゃいませ。ともかくこれで匠は雨の日でもうまいってことがまた一つ証明されたな。
だんだん走り屋らしくなってきてるよな匠も。
Where's the other
だって
guy?
自分から S14 の挑戦を受けたもんな。女ボケの方も解消されたみたいだし、やっぱ俺たちの作戦がうまくいったみたいっすね。
それにしてもいつき、お前つくづく美味しい体
Well,
験した
yeah,
よ
you
な。
came out alive.
雨のダウンヒルでの86の助手席だなんてな。
そりゃもう半端じゃなく死ぬほど怖かったっすよ。助手席でなくリアシートに座らされたんですけどね。
リアシート？
お
なんでまた。そう、それが匠のやつもはっきり意味があったわけじゃないらしいですけどね。
ははん、わかった。意味ありだね。俺にはわかるよ。
本当かケンジ？
どんな意味っすか？
へへ、それはな。それは気が散るからだ。
That was my guess.
だってそうだろ。いつきみたいにギャーギャー騒ぐのが隣に乗ってたら。そりゃ言えてるな。
なんだ、そうか。
全然違うぞ。こいつは平和だな。後ろに人を乗せたのは少しでも駆動軸のトラクションを稼ぐための即席のセッティングだろう。多分頭でなく感覚で分かってるんだ、匠には。
ありがとうございました。
Interesting.
全くどこまで成長するのかそこが知れないぜ。
匠くん。
あ
You know, I get a vibe.
もしかして匠の彼女っす。
いや、何？
I get a vibe. Like. Oh, what the?
君用なんかない？
Okay, I was not expecting that.
ブラブラ散歩してるうちに来ちゃった。
そう
迷惑だった？
別に。
思いつきだねしてる。やばいな。
Even you're involved right now?
バイト邪魔しちゃ悪いから帰るね。
Oh my gosh. Okay, what I was going to say was they have a tendency to play this same track every time. Almost every time that this girl is featured, they play the same track, and I get like, I don't know, just me. I think of Kairi from Kingdom Hearts, because like Kairi had her own theme, and that's kind of what I think of here.
とにかく来週は高橋涼介とバトルなんだからな。女ボケなんかしてる暇ねえぞ。
Guys, you're really stressing over this for nothing. Like he's fine. Oh boy. He's fine. Oh.
なんか汚れてんな。
Yeah.
やっぱ昨日のバトルのせいかな。
Yeah. She needs washed. She needs washed. Now I'm thinking next time I wash either of my trucks, I'll have to play this track while I wash them. I love this track though, it's beautiful. Yeah, sandals are definitely the way to go whenever you're washing your vehicle. I know from personal experience.
もしもし、誰だって？
俺だよ俺。久しぶりだな文太。
ああ、なんだお前か。どうした珍しいな。事故って病院にでもいるのか？
あほんとあれ。そんなことより文太。ずいぶんと噂になってんぜお前んところ息子。結構やるらしいじゃん。
何？今度の土曜日？高橋涼介？誰だそりゃ。
知らねえのか。俺たちの世界でも少しは知られてるやつだよ。
まあ群馬じゃナンバーワンのストリートレーサーだって聞いてる。
そいつとうちのがバトル。
ズバリ聞くが、どっちが勝つと思う？
知らねえな。やってみなきゃわかんねえだろそんなの。
相変わらずだな文太。お前 前が一から教え込んだ息子のドリフトちょっと見てみてえな。
I'll admit, I don't do that because by the time I get done, the water's always dirty. So I always use just a regular water hose. I don't dump the water back on because it's dirty.
じゃあな文太。
Oh gosh, those old phones. I remember those. My grandma had a phone like that you could either hang on the wall or you could lay down on something flat. I remember that. That curve right there would honestly... Yeah, I thought that wasn't the 8.6, that's the 8.5. Because there was...
初めの頃に比べるとかなり上達したよ、いつき。
そうか？本当にそう思う？いやー、匠にそう言われるとマジで嬉しいよな。
Easy.
俺でもかなりグリップ走行で走り込んでんだぜ。
へえ。
じゃあ特別に私の練習の成果、華麗なるテクニックをお見せしましょう。幻のヘルアンドテーン。
What? You stalled the engine.
おかしいな。昨日はちゃんとできたんだけどな。よし、次のコーナーだ。おい。あ、ワンスモアタイムプレイス。
ちょっと待て、いつき。
Dude, easy with...
いやー、安心したよ、匠。お前の女ボケがまたぶり返したかと心配してたんだよ。
なんだそりゃ。俺は女ボケなんかしてないよ。
だってよ、絶対変だったぜ。
前にも言ったろ。考えてるんだって。高橋涼介と戦って勝っても負けてもその先に何があるのかって。
は？
わかんねえかな、俺の言ってること。
わかんねえよ。
Yeah, he's a little dense.
謎みたいなこと言うなよ。バトルの先に何かなきゃいけねえのか？別に何もなくたっていいだろうが。
Okay, now that
でも十分早いん
is
だ
a
から
great
さ。
shot.
早くなんかね。
Okay, I'm curious, is there really a little building like that where you can get this sort of view? Is there really a little building with like a little vending machine where you can get this view?
とにかく今は高橋涼介とのバトルだけに集中しろよ。もうあんまり時間はないんだぜ。
高橋涼介か。
That was a great shot, I gotta say. With the city lights below, up on top of the hill, yeah, that's... I'm a sucker for scenes like that. Well, this is definitely... So the other guy... Takumi beat the other guy with no problem. Like, he just beat him. And... the other guys found out that it's not the weather really that affects the 8.6. It is the skill of the driver. They figured it out, I think, finally, that the weather, it may affect it a bit, but it's still the skill of the driver. And Takuma put He put his friend in the back seat of the vehicle. I figured. Did speculate that maybe he was putting him back there, maybe to try to have some weight, maybe to try to distribute the weight a bit more evenly. But I also guess that they did it because, yeah.
ついに君の最速理論が実践で試されるね。
自分の理論を証明できるこのチャンス、楽しみです。
その理論ってどんなのか具体的に教えてくれない？
E イコール MC の事情という公式はご存知ですか？あの有名なアインシュタイン博士の相対性理論ですが、まずこの公式に独自の補足理論を足します。
Oh boy.
E をバトル相手の平均スピードにすると、自分の車の平均スピードがそれを上回ればいい。
白い彗星。Don't miss it.
Yeah, I figured that he would end up actually winning, or I hoped he did, but I was curious about it. And here, I don't know if Takumi actually instinctively knew to put the guy in the back seat for extra weight to help distribute or balance the weight more with the rear tires, or if he did it just because he wasn't really thinking and the other guy really was annoying. I don't know. I'm guessing could be a combination of both. Yeah, like putting Itsuki in the back of the vehicle probably did, have an effect, but I'm not really sure how much of an effect that actually had, especially considering that he wasn't buckled in, being tossed back and forth like a salad in the back of the vehicle. So I'm wondering if if he had buckled in on the opposite side of the vehicle to Takumi, if that would have had any effect, or if he had buckled in the middle. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I would imagine that being in the middle, it would have distributed the weight evenly on the rear wheels, but then again, he was kind of being tossed around in the back. He was pretty much like James Bond. He was being shaken, not stirred. And so I'm not really sure if I probably would have made a bit of a difference, but I'm not sure how much Itsuki weighs, so I'm not sure if that really would have had a very big effect on that. Yeah, it's interesting also that Takumi's father, Bunta, is just totally chill with this. Just like, he's totally chill with all this. No big deal. It's comical. It's very, very comical that he is as chill about it as he is. And Itsuki wanted to he thought Takumi was distracted by girls and daydreaming about him, or about one. But in actuality, Takumi was actually thinking about the race. He was thinking about what happens after the race. You know, what happens if he wins this big race. I guess maybe if he loses, what is the outcome of the race and what would be going on afterward. And that's a very interesting thing, you know, that looking ahead and thinking about the future, about what's going to happen. And I kind of see kind of a correlation. I know this is old, like this is a 90s anime, but seeing it now and knowing that we are in the 9th and final season of MLP FIM, it kind of makes me think about us. You know, like, I feel kind of like I am Takumi right now, in a way. Whenever I think about MLP, I feel like Takumi because I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about what's on the horizon. So it's interesting to think about the future because it does enable you to make a plan. to think ahead. Sometimes sometimes it is fun and interesting to just live in that moment and not really think ahead. I actually do both. Depending on the situation, sometimes I don't think ahead, I just focus on that moment. Other times, I do think ahead. And it really just depends on the scenario. But, like I said, this girl, every time, this girl, I think, Mogi, Miyogi, every time that she is seen, or most of the time, we hear the same audio track. And it makes me think of Kairi. Her hair being, like, pretty much the same length of Kairi's anyway. Particularly in the first Kingdom Hearts. You see her hair is pretty much the same. It's almost the same length, if not the same length. But I see a kind of a similarity in that every time that Miyogi is introduced, or seen on screen, there's one specific audio track that plays for her. Kairi even had her own soundtrack in Kingdom Hearts. It's on the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack. It's literally just called Kairi, and it's her track. And so I kind of see a connection here. I kind of see something like that. It makes me think of that. So I don't like. It's kind of interesting to imagine, like, Miyogi is kind of like Kairi, and Takumi is like Sora. There's a big difference, however. Both Kairi and Sora were both kind of more outspoken. Miyogi, she's flirting with Takumi in a way differently than kind of Kairi did. I think Kairi was more low-key flirting with Sora. And Sora was definitely more of the goofy guy. Takumi is more quiet. So, yeah, but I see kind of a connection. There's a bit of a similarity to me anyway. But I'm very curious as to what's going to happen. Takumi did win the downhill race in the rain. And like I said, it's interesting to see the shot of him washing his car. And I love the track that plays during that scene. I'm just curious, have any of you played that track while washing your car or your truck? Have you? I have to know. I could totally play that while washing either of my trucks, but I probably won't. I'm not actually the kind of person. I'm not the kind of person to listen to music, like roll my window down and listen to music while I wash my vehicle. I've heard other people do it. I'm just not really that kind of person. But whenever I wash my vehicle, I don't use a sponge. I use a washcloth, like a soft washcloth, and I don't take the bucket and dump the water back onto the vehicle because it's dirty water by the time that I get done with it. So I always dump it in the creek, and then I take a water hose and wash it and spray it down. But I do wear sandals whenever I'm washing the vehicle, because what's the point in wearing regular shoes? And the sandals, you can just rinse the bottom of them off and keep them clean so you don't get anything in the truck bed. That's typically what I do. But for washing my trucks, because they're so big, I typically, especially for the Z71, I cannot reach the entire roof. So I have to literally use a mop to wash the roof of the truck. But and I actually don't use a brush to wash the tires. I do get the tires last, and I use the same washcloth once I've washed the vehicle. But for my C10, it's interesting to wash because the Cooper Cobra GT radials that I have on my truck, where I have the white letters turned out, those letters are very, very particular. Like, they're very picky. You have to pretty much use your thumb and wipe the letters, and you'll see like the black transfer of like the grime or like the rubber, and you have to gently rub them until they're completely clean. and you can't just go back and forth. You pretty much have to just, like with the with the C, you have to just wipe it and then kind of start from the top, do it again, and just kind of do that until you get it just right. I found that out with these tires. They're very picky with the letters, with how you wash them off. But again, I am looking very, very forward to seeing what happens in the next race. The next one over here on the side says, the next one is that is recommended over on the over next in the autoplay playlist is First Stage episode 24, Akagi's White Comet. So I'm wondering what's going to happen with that. Curious. But again, really enjoyed this episode, and interesting to see the development of the scenario with Takumi having won, and then what, all the planning and preparing that is going on for the rematch. So that's very interesting to see, and that's probably going to be the final race of this show, of this series. Sorry, of this stage. That'll be the final race, no doubt. But I'm very curious as to what's going to happen. And the preview actually showed Bunta and another guy in the vehicle, so we actually get to see Bunta driving again, so that'll be interesting to see in the next episode. But again, really excited for what's going to happen next. Thank you guys again for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care.